Let me show you a way how you can get up to 50 meetings per month with no paid ads, just using a simple DM strategy that I use to get 30 to 50 meetings per month for my consulting business. So let's start off. This strategy applies to anything that's cold outreach, like if it's Instagram, if it's Facebook, if it's LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitch, cold email, online, in person when you're like in an event, or doing lumpy mail, as you can see in the bottom right. This will apply, okay? So what to expect with any type of cold outreach DMing people? You can expect that like 90% of people will not reply, and then maybe 10, 5, even less people will reply, and then from those people who do reply, maybe 5-10% people will actually convert and actually become a customer and actually buy. And I'll give you at the end of this video a super cool statistic that will make your life just seem more predictable whenever you're doing cold outreach or trying this strategy, okay? So my example, like actual example. So, and I'm gonna share also the tracking sheet, how we track it. So we do send from one person, this is one person's data, around 3,000 new DMs per month. About 1,000 people reply. The reply rate is from 20 to 40%. We do send a really kind of not super direct message. That's why it's high. If you would send a direct message, I mean, and when I say direct, I mean, hey, you, this is what we do. Are you interested? That's like more direct, right? We would not name it like that, but that's the idea. It would be lower in my experience. And we get 30 to 50 book calls, which is around 4% booking rate from replies. Why is it so low from replies? Because, as I said, the opening message is not so direct. That's why it's lower. If it direct one would be high. If it's a direct message, reply rate would be lower, but booking rate from replies would be higher. Makes sense, right? And we do send 340, I would say 250 to 500 follow-ups per day. These are follow-up messages for people who do not reply. I will show you an example and you will see that. It's around 6,000 to 8,000 follow-up messages per month, okay? How does the tracking sheet look? So we use a tracking sheet called SharpOS. It is, here's a screenshot of the component, and basically we set up this like Google Sheet. We write the person's name, who's like one person reliable, responsible for this. Then we have some targets maybe we set for, let's say, reels per day published, stories per day published, new DMs sent. And here we put the target of that person. So they fill it out daily. So this is day number 1, day number 2, day number 3 per month, right? Date number 4, for example, right? So we write the targets, and then they write down here what actual numbers are. Follow-ups, again, conversations, first replies, they just like count it. Then booked calls, calls happened, new customers, cash collected. They do it every day. At the end of the month, you can see exactly what they did, how they did, and where are the biggest bottlenecks or constraints which you can work on to improve, to have more calls and more customers, right? This is how the tracking sheet looks. Here's an example. So this is the first message to a prospect. It's in Latvian, but let me read it in English. It says, hey Linda, just noticed that you are following me. By the way, are you currently looking for ways to grow your business? She doesn't reply. This is a follow-up saying, hey Linda, her name. She doesn't respond. We send a GIF. This GIF is kind of nice. It's like Mr. Bean waiting or something. Then they reply, yeah, it's interesting. We say, oh, cool, amazing. We talk about a little bit about what they do. They say they're interested in having a conversation with us. We say, cool. We send them a link. They book it. We ask them, did they book it? They say, yeah. And then we have a meeting with that, right? And that's generally what they do to do the results, right? This is doable for you to any niche. A cool thing you might think, I don't have followers. But yeah, that's a reasonable problem. Yeah, you don't have hundreds of followers. Okay, what to do? So, cool strategy. My wife actually showed me this. So your niche most likely has some problems, and there are probably reels about these problems. For example, my wife does about this health, about omega, about vitamins, etc. So she finds reels which have hundreds of comments about some problems about omega or fish oil or health or skin or something related. And there are people like a lot in those comments actually saying, yeah, this is exactly my problem. I'm suffering from this. And you just send these people this message, plus send them a friend request, right? You can do that in one account, typically from 30 to 50 messages per day. Just have multiple accounts. Just have a Facebook account, Instagram account, maybe a LinkedIn account, so you can do 100 to 200 new messages per day. Because my KPI, if I would start, if I'm one person, 100 new messages per day. That should be the thinking process, right? Next cool thing is, if you run ads or you some kind of do posts online, right? You do some content online right now. Many of you do. So you have posts online. So just whenever people follow you or click like on your posts, this is a screenshot of following, you just send these people the message. You send your first message to these people. The first message, two options. One is open-ended. Hey, by the way, cool that you followed me. Appreciate that. That's one. And they reply, and then you do a pitch about what you do or what kind of things you can offer. Second approach would be, hey, you have created some kind of a lead magnet, something valuable like a PDF, ebook, a video course, something cool, something that solves a problem, is nice to have, and people would like to receive that and get some value from it. So you can just, by sharing and asking, hey, would you want something related to this? I can share it over. I can send it over. And you wait while they reply. The third option could be, hey, I just noticed you're struggling with this, aka problem. I would love to give you something in exchange for free, where I could have a conversation with you and help you out, if that's cool. And I know this is out of the blue question. Well, this kind of message. That also works fine. It's, it's like more direct, less people will reply, but those who will reply most likely will become booked calls, and then, you know what happens after that, right? Makes sense. So this is a great way how to get things started. The main thing is to do it for at least like 2-3 months, and also thinking about, hey, once you're doing it, while you're running it, launching it, how can I improve it? How can I change it? What do I need to improve? You will do the tracking as I showed you here. It will be obvious to see where is your biggest problems. But just realize the statistics. Don't expect everybody to reply. Don't expect everybody who replies to become a booked call, and don't expect every booked call to actually buy, because they are not yet so exposed to what you do, and they are way back in the buying cycle because they're really, really cold. Just probably you notice them, just send a message. It's like a random person. So don't try to maybe go for aggressive closing. Just, build some relationship, share something. A cool advanced tip is to, before the conversation, send some sales assets, which could be interviews, videos, trainings, ebooks, resources, but short things, not long things, short things that they can see to get some credibility about you, some trust about you before the conversation. And I told you I'm gonna give you some cool idea at the end. So for us, every 100 messages, one booked call. Like that's it. So 100 messages, one booked call. But not immediately. You know why? Because we do the follow-ups, which I told you, from 250 to 500, because people on the first message don't want to reply because they think you're a bot. So send some follow-ups and more people will reply. Okay? Hope this was helpful, useful. Try it out, do it, and it's a nice way to get, as I said, 30 to 50 sales calls and actually get some money in. So a little bit later, you can run paid ads, and we would love you to hire us and we can help you with that. Let's go.